so we got a big box today. Let's see what's in it. It should be my coilovers. And you can't really find bolt-on coilovers for the S13 or S130s. I read briefly up on the forums about what kind of coilovers the S130 guys are using. And what I found is that the S13 coilovers for the early 240SXs are a pretty close fit. I'm not sure how close it is. They look real similar in like their mounting position and stuff. I know the upper shock tower is a little bit different, but with a little bit of modification, I don't think it's a problem. So these are just some cheap eBay parts, but what we're aiming to do with these is we're aiming to reduce the squat on the launch. Because every time that back end squats down and that back bumper nearly skims the ground, we're losing forward motion. We're losing all our power, all our speed is getting absorbed by that rear suspension as we set off. So our best 60-foot time is like a 1.66, and the way we're leaving, we really should be cutting at least like a 1.5. So that's what we're hoping to achieve here. Let's see how they look. They're shiny. They look cool. Oh, they're beautiful. They sure are pretty. I just hope we can make them work. Get rid of all that squat. So the real question is, will this hole fit on that control arm? And I'm gonna find that out right now before I even tell you guys. Ah, like a glove. Yes, that was the only thing I was worried about. Well, not the only thing. I also have to wonder, this is, I think, substantially shorter than the one that came off it. This is the old versus new. Huge difference in length. That might be a problem. But anyway, this is supposed to work. So here's hoping that we can raise that thing up enough for this to work. All right, so they actually do adjust quite a bit. You can see here, we can get several more inches out of it. And that still makes it quite a bit shorter than our original one, but that's okay because we can stiffen up the springs. So as long as the end product is less squat and we're not rubbing anything and it doesn't look ridiculous, then we're still winning. Well, let's see how far off our bolts are. Alright, so getting these things to fit right in the car is going to be challenging. The bolt pattern is totally different from one to the next. The distance from the center to the bolt is different from one to the next. And finally, this washer bushing combo in the middle there is larger than the hole on the strut tower. And that's pretty heavy duty metal. There's no easy way to cut that stuff. I'd have to just grind it away, and it's going to be hard to do. What instead I'm going to do is I'm going to attempt to move this over to the coilover. I don't know if it's going to work, but we're going to try it. This might be my sketchiest idea yet for this garage. I definitely don't have the tools to do this the right way. My plan is basically to destroy the original spring in order to get the strut mount off of it, and hopefully that mount will adapt to the top of this of the coilover, and then I can bolt these puppies right in and call it a day. That's also going to actually lift the car up an inch or so because there's some offset on the hat here, so you'll see the strut's actually down in the hole on this one, whereas on the new ones it's totally flush. So my idea is going to be kind of sketchy and probably make a lot of people uncomfortable. So viewers beware, viewer discretion is advised. My idea is to just chop the spring coil and take some of the tension off of that spring, and then my sawzall here. I got my tires sitting on top of it just to keep things from flying too fast. But we'll see if we can get the tension off of the spring, and then I can get the nut off of the top of that with ease. So let's see how this goes. Oh, you're gonna be tough, aren't you? All right, so that idea didn't work. Spring metal is apparently real hard. So I quit because it wasn't gonna work, not because I was scared of the consequence. Anyway, we're going back to plan B. Oh, y'all ain't even gonna believe what worked. Look at this. I wasn't even gonna record it because it's such a stupid idea. I put my pliers around the inside of the strut, and then I clamped down on them with my vise, just to hold that strut from moving. And now I actually got the nut coming loose. Can't take it all the way off until I take some tension off of the spring, but I'm gonna run it down as far as I can. And I think this is gonna work just fine. All right, so the method I used to make this work. This is terrible. It's terrible, y'all. Your parents are gonna see this and they're gonna make you stop watching my channel. But damn if it didn't work. Oh man. This one is real tight. All right, here's what I'm gonna do. I'll tighten this down a little bit more. I'm just waiting for these pliers to explode. We're gonna apply some heat to the nut. So using a little bit of heat on there is gonna expand that nut. All right. Hey, there she goes. All right, now we move to the car. All right, so step one, we need to put it in the car. And we're going to compress the spring by jacking up the suspension like this. All right, so now, that's it. And now we're going to relieve the remaining tension off the spring like this. And voila. And she comes out. There's the spring. It's off the strut, just like that. Now we are going to need this washer and this rubber bushing for the next step. So now we got the old one apart. We need to break down our new one. Got to get the tension off of the spring, and then we can loosen up the nut on top of that. And there's that. And this is the mount we're using now. The spring doesn't really fit around it, but it butts up on the edge of it pretty well. So this is kind of janky, but the plan is washer, mount, pushing, mount, and then top mount. And that's pretty much how that's going to go. So now we can bolt this thing right into the car like a direct replacement. Voila! S130 strut mount, S13 coilover. Ba-boom!
Just getting the old trailer off the side of the yard. Been tuning the baby over at Steve-O's house. We successfully moved the trailer from over there to right here with the lawnmower, aka the Mini Z. And we're gonna
power half the size.
We're gonna get it loaded up to go around the dyno tomorrow. Testing tune was shut down because of weather.
We did a little bit of test and tuning on the streets just now and got some good data logs, but looks like she's pretty much ready to run.
Anyway, so nobody got arrested. Successful night, and we'll see you guys tomorrow.
Is that always the most fun part, taking out the last bolt? Oh, hi, how are you? Here, take this.
I can't, just stick it to the lift arm.
I want those. Those are the dopest things I've ever seen in my whole life.
Oh, that fluid looks great. Looks like it's going right down to your shirt sleeve.
Nice and clean. Oh, actually, not so much.
Whoa, dude. What is that from? Oh, shit.
I'm nervous.
Well, we're going to send it anyway.
Yep.
Let's clean the pan out at least.
We have a magnet we can throw down there.
Well, we're in here to adjust the number 2 second gear band. Try to tighten it up a little bit. Our second gear shifts are still a little sloppy, so we're gonna adjust that a little bit. We did find a little bit of a glitter in the oil pan.
A little bit.
And that may or may not be a problem, but we're gonna just remove it for now. I don't think it's needed in there anymore. I think its service is done.
I mean, transmissions aren't that important.
I mean, how crucial is a transmission? Anyway, it's probably just coming out of our torque converter anyway.
The old Jacko don't need nothing.
Yeah, the old Jacko's low maintenance. Alright, well, we got her on the lift now. We're going to get the transmission adjusted, and then it's over here to the rollers once again to try to get this tuned just right.
Delicate.
Bob's watching us on camera like, what the fuck? Forgot, we're not the only, that's not the only camera rolling in here. Hurry up, dude, let's go! Thanks. Where are you going? What? Dude, you're getting further away. I can't hear you. Can't hear you. What? I can't hear you over your too loud music. So it starts. So this wire here, use this black wire. Don't need to route it up to here. And this needs to go on the end of it. Stupid computer, quit being stupid, computer. Using our cylinder head temperature sensor here, here for coolant temperature sensor input to the Mega Squirt, but that is a dry sensor that doesn't actually sit in coolant, and it's never read accurately ever. So now we're using this guy, which is located over here in the thermostat housing. See back there dripping? That's going to mean we're actually going to be able to measure our coolant temp, which is going to aid in tuning tremendously.
Tremendous.
Engine temperature is very important when calculating fuel mix. So first we got to boil it, we got to freeze it, and we got to measure some resistance values on it to get it calibrated. So to calibrate our thermistor table, we're doing a three-point resistance system where you take a resistance measurement in freezing water, 32 degrees. You take a measurement in boiling water, which is 212, and you take a room temperature measurement. And the Mega Squirt can use those 3 values to determine what the coolant temp is once it's calibrated. So right now, we're checking the resistance at boiling. Sitting at about 212 right now, and devohm's showing about 22 ohms. So that's going to be our high temperature, and then we go to the ice water. We already got room temperature. That's the easiest one, obviously, the less dangerous one. This is real dangerous stuff here, especially with Matt around. This is how we're getting the cold reading. Just going to kind of wait for the resistance change to slow down. So we ran really rich on that pull. Just making second gear pulls up to about 40. This dyno really can't do more than 60 miles an hour safely, so the best I can do is just a full load pull from 2,000 or about 2,000 RPMs in second up to about 4,500. But as long as everything looks good there, then I can just keep it linear beyond that, because that's enough RPM to get max boost. So we're gonna give it another hit.
taking a data log on the street. We can actually get it into second gear, wide open throttle. I'm gonna stay in it till the shift light kicks on. It should be okay. At all. I should have. If I was smart, I would, but this car's so sketchy. It's such a handful. Can't hardly take my eyes off the road, but we're gonna go ahead and put on the trailer now. I think we've attracted quite enough attention for one night. I can feel it dragging. I laid some rubber down over there, and the handbrake is like stuck tight now. We have to figure that out. It freed up just now. That's weird. Totally just freed up. Like it had pressure stuck on it. Well, that might be something to beware of. Ooh, man, those brakes are hot.